Story of Struggle presents IT Chat with Hussain. If you like the content, please subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon for any future notification.
And now when you go to McDonald's, they print the receipt for you. There are calories at every product. I was on that project when we built that, just an FYI. My content transformation transition from this project to this project was 0. So whatever I did in my first project, I had nothing to carry here. So please try to understand, it is the same organization, same domain, same industry, same department. The project moved, the content got completely changed. So for you and me, content doesn't make a difference, is not important. What is important is context. Concept of our work, right?
Hey everyone, welcome to another brand new episode of Story of Struggle. Today I'm here with a very different content. Before moving forward, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2020. You guys have made it, you guys have done it, but I know the feeling after graduation. You may be finding job, you are wondering what you want to do, but no worries, I have brought a man that you need. So today I have with me Hussain, all the way from Chicago. He is entrepreneur, trainer. He's been empowering students from last more than 1 decade, and he's an Agile Coach, a fantastic instructor. I have personally been empowered through him, so I thought to invite him, and it would be the best time to invite. And thank you so much, Hussain Bhai, for humbly accepting my request. But yeah, without further ado, let's welcome Hussain Bhai. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Manjeel. Thank you for your kind words. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Hussain Bhai, can you give a little bit short introduction about you to my viewers?
Sure. Absolutely. Again, Manjeel, very kind of you. You took this opportunity to kind of invite me here. But I think, I believe this, and then I always like to transform this to anyone whom I touch in my life, right? Mm-hmm. So for last 12 years, we've been training. I'll tell you a little bit more about the training and stuff. But the goal, Manjeel, here is, personal goal again, is how can you spread this knowledge? When I was very young, when my father told me that if you have money and if you share with people, it will become less. But if you have knowledge and if you share with people, it's going to grow, right? Nobody's taking your knowledge. So I think you are doing an amazing, amazing thing that you're helping a lot of community members. And that's what the goal is. And it has to spread. I help you, you help someone else help. So first of all, congratulations on all that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
A little bit about myself. Again, my name is Hussain. I've been in information technology for almost 16 years now, professionally. Although I came from a very non-IT background academically, most of my degrees is from business side. I still pursued IT as my profession because few different things, right? Number one, definitely the compensation, the money in information technology is much, much more. And others, we can all validate this information, right? And number two is opportunity for growth, right? I always tell people, there are professions where you can make good money, but the question ultimately you ask yourself is, the amount of money I'm making is how many hours. That's very important to understand what you're getting in return. So I came in information technology for last 16 years, for last 12 years. So once I was almost 4 years into my profession, I opened a company because I thought, hey, whatever I've gained through my knowledge, through my experience, how do I give this back to the community? That was the whole purpose behind the organization that I started, which is called S&A IT Training Corporation. And since almost 12 years, we've started training, and kind of the portfolio of the students varies from 18-year-old to 65, 70 years old, right? Especially, I want to cater to people who are students who are fresh graduate, like you and Asmita and many more, right? Are those people who can, because our programs we'll talk more about the program, but the kind of a training I give is a real world training. It's not in academic class, it's a real world deliverable training where we'll teach you exactly what you do in your profession 9 to 5, day in and day out. So we are doing that. We have a lot of courses that we have been teaching for many, many years now. The great news, Manjeel, is we have joined hands, partnered with NEIU, which is Northeastern Illinois University, which has the regionally accredited university from HCL, Higher Learning Commission. So that is backing us up right now. So anyone who's graduating from our programs will be certified through these university certification. So this is something about us.
Sure, thank you. Can you tell a little bit about your training institute, like about its history, where it is located, and the classes you offer, and different programs that you offer? Do you guys offer only online or both in person and online? Can you talk about that, Hussain?
So the university, the institute is basically is in Chicago. I mean, and the reason I'm saying Chicago because maybe we are catering to global public here, but it is in one of the northwest suburb of Chicago called Schaumburg. That's where we are for last 12 years. And my programs are both in class and online too. Now, when I say online, it's a real-time interactive online class, right? It's not a blackboard. It's a real-time one. So anybody from any part of the world, any part of the state can join in the program. It's going to be a live program for them. They can ask questions. They're able to see the instructors, the class, and so on and so forth. So our programs are available both. Now, the good thing is we also do have Blackboard. So what I do is I audio video record each class. So in case if you're in a program and you miss a class for any extenuating circumstances, I will go ahead and email you, or you can get onto my portal and have access to that recorded class. So anytime you can go ahead and listen to that. The another reason why we record the class, Manjeel, is people who are from non-IT, right? I don't expect them to understand everything while they are sitting in the class. So they might have to go back and revisit to the lectures again and again, just to make sure they're able to comprehend better, right? So that's one. The kind of a programs that we are offering is very diversified. So we are focusing on information technology. So one of a core program that we work on is a business analyst program, right? And business analyst program is the one that has the highest demand. A couple of reasons, I'll tell you why. First is this profession cannot be outsourced, right? In information technology, it's very common to outsource the jobs. You can send it to other countries. The second one is the job is being automated. That means you're removing a human intervention and bringing a machine to do your work. A business analyst profession, you cannot do anything with this profession. You cannot outsource this because of the nature of the program. So if there is a BA position in Nepal, only people living in Nepal can able to do it. You cannot outsource that, right? If it's Dubai, you can have to Dubai. If it's Chicago, whatever the case, right? Number one. Number two is you cannot automate it. I mean, you cannot make machine do your job just because of the nature of the profession it is. So what does this do is this creates a lot of demand. Now, so that's why it's a lot of positions are available in business at any given point of time. If you go in December, which is the last month of the fourth quarter, you will still find a lot of jobs. So that's the program we teach. I highly recommend a lot of students or people who are trying to get into IT start with the business analyst profession. The reason why is first, it is a non-technical profession within IT, right? So if technicality is not your forte, then this is the right way to get in. Make sense? That's number one. Number two is it helps you to build your foundation in information technology. Understand when you're building a building, what is very important is the foundation, because the longevity, the existence of that building depends upon how strong your foundation is. So what we do here in this institute is we build your foundation from ground zero when you come into a PA class. That's what we are giving you an opportunity there. So that's one of the program, very, very well-known common program, high in demand. Again, these programs that I'm mentioning you, they are all certified through NEIU. So if you do a program with us, at the end of the program, you'll earn a certified business analyst from Northeastern Illinois University, just NFI. So that's one of the program, okay? The other program that we talked about, and again, maybe I missed this part. So business analyst, much very high level, right? A BA is a liaison between business and technology. So then go to the next program, which is Scrum Master. So Scrum Master from a very, very high level is a project manager for now. And I'll go into detail when you give me that opportunity. So our next program is Scrum Master. So information technology goes through a software development lifecycle, right? As any other organization. So Scrum Master is a mini project manager that is managing one small team within information technology. Let's keep it to that. So that's our second program. Again, it's a certified program. Again, it will teach you the basic of information technology, one of the least technical, again, profession here. That's number two. And then somebody who's able to, kind of manage team, who knows how to train, coach, is the right direction for the person to get into the Scrum Master. A lot to do on the processing part of information technology and Scrum software development lifecycle. So that's our Scrum Master. Number three we have done is the new program that we've added is Certified Agile Coach. So Certified Agile Coaches are one to whom the Scrum Masters may report to. It's the second level, a higher level of Scrum Master position. So Certified Agile Coach is one who comes in, who's coaching, mentoring, training the Scrum Masters as well as the entire team and the senior leadership. So basically, when you talk about Agile or Agile, there are two parts to it. One is the strategic part and one is the process part. So Scrum Master deals with the processing part. The strategic part is dealt by a Certified Agile. Again, it's a certified program, and that's number 3. Number 4 is a QA program. So QA stands for Quality Analyst, which is nothing but known as testing, if some research you know. And within testing, within QA, there are 2 portions. One is manual QA and one is automation. So manual is the one that human does it, automation is the one that system does it. So our training program has both. So we train you on the automation side, and we do training on Selenium. So if you're familiar with that, that's what the tool we are using, that's what the coding we are using. And on the manual side would be the manual testing. That program, again, it's one of the most common program. A lot of QA positions are available in the market. You can do your research. I mean, there's no, and all these programs that I'm mentioning, these are real hands-on programs and professions that are required in every information technology department, company, or portfolio, whatever you call it, right? So that's next. Now, there are also other amazing programs we have. So we have Agile Practitioner that's available for everybody who can come in and understand Agile end-to-end. Right? What's Agile? Who's playing what role? Again, these are all certified programs for now. Next year, in 2021, we are about to launch many more. So we are bringing in Java coding. We are bringing in .NET coding. Also, we will be bringing in certified enterprise Agile Coach, and then we have transformation Agile Coach too. That's in 2021. Make sense?
Thank you so much, Hussain bhai. Thank you so much. We have talked about all these courses that you're offering. When I graduated in 2017, I'll tell you what happened. All these IT jargons that you talked about, it was like very confusing on my head, very confused. I was so confused. Me and Asmita were so confused. What is these things? Somebody, especially business analyst, somebody talks about business analyst. Some says business system analyst. Some says business process analyst. There are so many IT jargons there. So the goal here is we want to understand like course by course, first, what is business analyst in a very layman term? Is all the same business system analyst, business process analyst, business whatever analyst? Is it same thing in IT or what? Please help my viewers to get that.
Absolutely. Amazing question. So I'll take a step back. Okay. I'll take a few minutes to tell you something which I missed initially. So just my professional experience, I'll throw it out. So I've worked for many Fortune 500 companies. Okay. I've been 16 years. So I think I've worked for almost 10 to 12 different companies. And you can look at my, profile on LinkedIn. You can find me on my website, my entire career list. So I worked in a lot of different organizations. And the reason why I brought this here, this discussion is, that's so true, because sometimes this profession is called by different name. And if you're not familiar with the jargons, if you're new to an industry, that can confuse the heck out of you. And I totally get it. And I was in the same boat like you and many others, whoever is watching us, right? So let me go ahead and tell you. The profession, and I'll tell you why, is because sometimes so there's a business analyst, there is a system business analyst, there's a business process analyst, there's a data analyst, right? And people are like, what the heck are these? Are these same profession? So let me break it down into very, very simple, non-complex explanation to you, right? Now, a business analyst is a liaison, right? A very fancy French word for bridge, intermediator, translator, messenger. These are all synonym, the meaning of the word liaison. So a business analyst is a liaison between. So understand this, what is IT doing? Information technology is a supplier of IT products. Yes or no, right? What do we deal with in IT? Application or software? We all know that. Excel sheet, Facebook, WhatsApp, POS system, CRM system. If you are new to IT, these words might scare you. Dude, trust me, this is freaking nothing. Once you Google, you understand this crap, right? So these application or software we are creating in an information technology. Either you're enhancing it, you're making it, you're creating it, you're changing it, you're removing it, replacing it, whatever. So we are the supplier for IT products. Now, we all understand, we are going to school, is that there is only demand when there is a supply, yes or no? Nobody's going to manufacture something and keep it in their inventory and not sell. So there is a demand. So who has a demand? The business has a demand. The IT has a supply, the business has a demand. Now, please understand, business do not have skill set to go and explain to information technology, listen, Baba, this is what I need. Neither the IT has a capability or skill set to understand in business language what they want as a product. So that's the reason where this middleman comes in, a business analyst comes in, and who act as a liaison, who goes to the business, understand their need in their language, and go ahead and deliver the same information to the information technology the way they will understand. Now, the funny part is they both speak English. So it's not, don't think IT speaks technical language or something like, no, it's not. Like I can't even make it up because you already know that. So that's the fun part. But anyway, a business analyst here is someone who goes in and takes the information, process the information. Of course, you're not giving the same thing, otherwise why would they need you? You process something, you extrapolate, and then you deliver. So that's basically what you're doing. Now let me remove the confusion. So a business system analyst, so data analyst, one who's analyzing the data. There's also a position called business analysis. So there are some universities offering degrees in business analysis, and usually people feel, oh, I've done a degree in business analysis. Is that a business analyst? The answer is yes, and the answer is no. Because business, I took a course at 800 level 2 on business analysis. That's basically you're analyzing a business, right? So whether you're doing competitive analysis, understanding, getting into the crux of the business, analyzing the business overall, right? Doing all SWOT, right? Strength, weakness, opportunity, threats from internal and external. Business analyst is very exclusive to IT. You have to understand this one. When you're trying to get into a job or try to get into a training, make sure you're doing your right research or due diligence, right? Compare apples to apples. Now, business system analyst is basically, I'll tell you what the fun part is. So, you know how sometimes organizations wants you to wear multiple skill sets, right? So they will say, listen, if I hire a business analyst, I'm paying BA $100,000, right? $80,000 to $100,000. Now, the second aspect of software development lifecycle is design. So I have to get a designer in. Now, designer, I have to pay $70,000, $75,000. If I hire a BA with a multiple skill set, say I'm like, okay, Manjeel, you are a BA. Can you do design? Can you do wireframing? Can you create process flows? Manjeel is like, yeah, I know how to use Visio. All right, let us hire you as a business system analyst, where you are going to play two roles. One of a BA, and then you'll be doing the designing. Of course, they're going to pay you more money because BSA makes a little bit more money, but basically that's what the position is. Now, business process analyst is analyzing the business process. It may not necessarily be in the IT field. So make sure that you're familiarizing yourself and making it clear by looking at the job description, is this IT or not? Some key words should be able to bring that clarification to you. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Another struggle, and I'm sharing my struggle, and I'm pretty sure this is a struggle of many.
Yeah.
What I was told was, it's so important to understand a domain knowledge. That was a biggest struggle. Like if you want to go to the healthcare domain or finance domain or automotive domain or whatever domain, if you want to be a business analyst, you should know the domain. Hussain bhai, tell my viewers how important it is to understand business domain if you want to pursue business analyst training.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and that's a great point you brought in. So let's first clarify for these people, because these are non-IT people. So when he's mentioning domain, what he's mentioning in layman term is industry, right? So in a non-IT, we say, oh, you're from the healthcare industry, or you're from finance industry, or you're from, say, retail industry, right? Or insurance industry. In IT, we call it domain. So let me go ahead and tell you the concept of business analyst, right? And again, coming back to my experiences. So the good part of a BA is in our profession, Manjeel, the content of our work doesn't mean anything, and I'll tell you why. So I worked for McDonald's Corporation. I'll give you an example. So I did a contract position for 1 year. I got in, and they put me on a global team. So my global team, the first 3 months, my project was only working on point of sale system. So I'll very exclusively tell you, if you have, so point of sale system, before what was happening, Manjeel, was we were adding calorie counts on the point of sale system. Before you would go in McDonald's, you can only see calories on top here. Where the guy standing on behind, they have a product, price, and calorie. So they never had the calories on your receipt before. Right? And now when you go to McDonald's, they print the receipt for you. There are calories at every product. I was on that project when we built that, just an FYI. So I finished my project. I built that, I implemented that feature in Baral. So my 3 months, my project got over. Now they moved me to mobile application. They call GMA, which is global mobile application. Okay, they moved me from POS to GMA. You will not believe this. My content transformation transition from this project to this project was 0. So whatever I did in my first project, I had nothing to carry here. So please try to understand, it is the same organization, same domain, same industry, same department. The project moved, the content got completely changed. So for you and me, content doesn't make a difference, is not important. What is important is context, concept of our work, right? As a BA, what I'm going to do? I'm going to go in, do analysis as is, to be, blah, blah, whatever, right? That's number one. So that's important. Number two is, yes, domain experience is important, but the most beautiful part of this is when you go in, when they give you opportunity for training, when they give you to do your part, analysis part, which is as is analysis, it is important that you go in and understand the domain, right? That is why we bring in so many real world experience in the program, Manjeel, is where students are able to understand, hey, what's a domain? What do I need to do? When you go in, when you're going to go ahead and gather requirement, you have to have some context to it to ask questions. And that is why you have to do a thorough as is analysis where you learn about the domain on every job, because it's going to change from project to project. Make sense?
Makes sense, Hussain bhai. Thank you so much for sharing that. Another thing, last thing I want to ask this about before joining the training. What skill set should I have to pursue a business analyst training? Or is there anything like you should not have, you can get everything after training? Or is there something that I should have before, skill set wise before joining for a training, Hussain?
Dude, you should be my marketing director, man. You're asking all right questions. All right. So let me go ahead and tell you.
These are all my struggles, by the way. So
they're amazing. And trust me, I don't know how to tell you, right? And then I have Nabila on the recording, and she works with me. She's my partner. So we and these all what you're asking, we made a lot of videos on this, and it's on our website too, answering all these questions. And I understand. And it's so true, right? Because only when we go through the journey, we feel the pain. And that's why you're asking this question, because these are not my viewers' questions. These are my questions, and ultimately these are viewers' questions. So let me go ahead and tell you, my friend, and it might hurt, and it hurts me more than you guys. I don't know if you guys have 1 bachelor's, 1 master. I have 7 degrees. I don't know how to tell you, right? $380,000 is my student loan in US. So you understand how, and all my degrees, Manjeel, is in non-IT. The reason why I'm telling you this is because in information technology, degree is, let me put it this way, is not required, but preferred.
Yes.
So having a degree, absolutely. And you and I know that only 4%, just let me tell you this, only 4% people globally have master's degree, just an FYI. So if you have a master's degree, you are only the 4% in the globe, and those are real numbers, by the way. So I know how important education is, but in information technology, having a degree is preferred, not required. So that's okay. If you have a degree, it's perfectly fine. If you don't have a degree, you're still fine for this program, just an FYI. What do you need for this program? If you're coming into my program, you don't need to, if you have IT experience, well and fine. You don't need no IT experience, 0 IT experience. My program is specifically, you know this, is for people who are completely non-IT. Even if you come with an IT experience, I'll still train you as if you're 0 IT, because I want to make sure your base is strong. What I just expect people to bring with them is, I always tell them, for a lot of people in this world, need and want are same. So Manjeel, if I come to your house and I'll say, Manjeel, can you give, I need a cup of water, right? Or I want a cup of water. For you, it might be same thing. It's like you're asking for water. But if you look at the dictionary meaning of these 2 words, they are very, very different. And for a program is also different. I always tell this, if this is your want, maybe this is not the right program. But if this is your need, right? This is the program for you. So what I want people is to bring the need to me. Hey, listen, I am in a need. I need to make this my career. I need to make this my job, my profession, whatever the case is. So that's what I need, number one. Number two, the only simple thing that I need is ability to communicate, right? As long as you can speak, people can understand you. People can speak and you can understand. That is the only thing I need, my friend. I need one is your need. It has to be your need. And number two, very normal, simple communication skill sets. Rest, everything, we will give it to you. Nothing else you need, if that makes.
Thank you so much. Now, let's move further on your courses. You also have Scrum Master, Agile Certified Agile Coach, and QA. Let's talk about Scrum Master. Hussain, can you tell my viewers what exactly Scrum Master is, and what are the skill sets that you must have before joining the training, or you will get after the training?
Awesome. So I'll make this easy, right? Because I have to go into a lot of depth, but I'll make it very easy and simple. So folks, information technology. So if you go to a manufacturing unit of, say, automobile, or you go to Coca-Cola company, right? So they all go through a life cycle, the product development life cycle, PDLC that we call, right? So similarly, software is also a product. So instead of PDLC, we say SDLC, which is a software development life cycle. So in order to manufacture the product, we said we are a supplier of it. There are different phases that you have to go through, right? So there is a methods that you go through. One of the method that is spreading contagiously across the globe. And by 2025, 90% organizations will be using that software development lifecycle method, which is called Agile. Okay. So in Agile, you have a project manager position, right? That manages a project. Now within the project, there are different teams that work under the projects. In order to manage those individual teams, a position has been created called Scrum Master. So a Scrum Master is nothing but a project manager that is actually managing a small project within a small mini team. Maybe one or maybe multiple. That's what a Scrum Master does. Who should join Scrum Master? Scrum Master is, again, least technical, Manjeel, right? I don't know, it's funny to say that. It's very, very non-technical thing, but what do you need is you really need good communication skill set. You should be able to. And second is relationship building. Very, very important, because Scrum Master is, you are a people person, right? You have to be people person. So you're dealing with people, right? Imagine think about an event manager or an event coordinator, how you manage the entire event, right? Bringing all the pieces together. Same way you're doing as a Scrum Master, making sure everybody's doing right things. They're all communicating, collaborating. You're like a father of the team to make sure everybody's aligned in the right direction. They're all heading in the right direction. And if there is any problems, issues, impediments, you remove them. That's what a Scrum Master does. So communication skill sets and collaboration and being a people person is very, very important for you. Again, just basic. You don't have to have a master degree in language to do that, but simple communication skill sets should.
Uh-huh. Sure. And also now, thank you so much for sharing that. I hope it's going to be very fruitful to all my viewers. Now let's talk about, Hussain, Certified Agile Coach. The first is, what is this we already have all these things in IT. Now, what is this Certified Agile Coach? And the other thing is, you need to have a lot of certifications to be an Agile Coach? That's another question.
Awesome. So let me answer your second question first, and then I'll answer the first question later. No, you don't have to have all the certification in order to be a certified coach. This is not only if some institute is telling you have to have this 3 certification to get this, they're trying to make money on you. Just and simple. The reason is each training is independent. So you don't have to have a business analyst training to come and take our certified Scrum Master training. If you come from zero, I'll build you from ground zero and make you a Scrum Master. So Certified Agile Coach is also similar. We'll go from ground zero, my friend. You don't need other certificate. What is Certified Agile Coach? That's the first question that you asked. So I'll give you again high level without confusing. See, software development life cycle is 45-year-old baby. It's existing in this world for 45 years. When software development life cycle came into existence, at the same time, they needed a life cycle. How do you go through the process of developing information technology 45 years ago? So at the same time came a traditional method. How are we going to follow this method, right? How do you build an application from the topmost requirement need initiation phase till completely deploying the phase or giving it to the customer, right? Returning the product back. So when this came in, the original traditional method, or we call it waterfall method, was initiated right 45 years ago. Now for 40 years, almost 35 years, every organization, every company use the same method, okay? 10 years ago, 12 years, but really 10 years ago, a new baby was born. The reason why new baby was born, because the old baby, that 45-year-old baby we had, is very, very rigid baby. So now we are becoming very competitive, very global, very volatile. The economy is coming together. The world is coming together. We need something very fast-paced, very flexible, and very agile. So what happened is that urge and that hunger gave a birth to a new methodology, which is a 10 to 12-year-old baby. Okay, that is called Agile. Okay, now imagine for 35 years you are using something, and suddenly I come to you and say, hey, listen, Manjeel, now you will have to change this, what you're using, and you have to completely use a different thing. See how human are, right? What is the biggest challenge in human life? Change. Keep that in mind, right? So suppose there are 100 organizations using this old method. Now, suddenly 10 years ago, a lot of companies are saying, let's go into Agile. Now, this is so difficult. Who's going to guide them? All are blind, right? We don't know what Agile is. So they need someone to hold their hand and to make them transform from that old method, from waterfall to Agile. And that is an Agile coach. Is how do you hold all these hands and make that transition and transformation from waterfall to Agile. That's what Agile Coach is. So Agile Coach, the name itself should explain you. It's a coach. So more than doing work, we are coaching people, right? Suppose, how's the baseball coach? How's the football coach? How's the cricket coaches, right? What they do? They just coach the team. They train the team. Team knows how to play, right? That's why Scrum Master is coming in to help the team to do daily things what they are supposed to. But coaching comes from a very high level where they coach the people, mentor the people. Now they're coaching the Scrum Masters, they're coaching the coaches, right? They're coaching the team, they're coaching the stakeholder. So you should be comfortably communicate with people of higher echelon. Means you should be fine with talking to vice president, managers, directors. Again, it's all communication skills, right? Very comfortably being able to communicate with these people. So it's more of a coaching, training kind of a position. Make sense?
Thank you so much. Since I have promised somebody that, I'll be interviewing Agile Coach pretty soon, I'll ask 2 questions. Hussain bhai, can you help us understand what is burn down chat and different Agile ceremonies in a very short way? Because I promised them. So burn down chat and Agile ceremonies.
Okay, got it. So let me tell you burn down chat. Now, you guys took class a little bit earlier. Now there is something new fancy crap that has come in, is burn up chart. I'll explain you both in a way, but let's start with burn down. So a burn down chart is a chart or a graphical presentation that helps you to manage your daily progression of work. This is a definition. I'll explain you in layman terms. Don't worry. So it's a graph that you maintain to manage everyday progress. Listen, if you are a project manager and you are on a 1-year project, okay? So what is 10% of 1 year? 1.2 months. Make it easy, right? So 10% is 1.2. So means every one month and say maybe 2.5 days, you have to track, if you want to track the progression of your project, whether your project is heading in the right direction, there is no impediments, there is no blockages, everything is moving in the right direction. Yes or no, right? But with Agile, your sprints are only 2 weeks. So that means only 10 working days. So if there are only 10 days, my friend, 10% is at the end of 1 day, first day. So it becomes important to track the progress every day because of the short duration of the sprint. So what the burn down chart does is it helps a Scrum Master, and everybody can view it, but Scrum Master to track. So suppose we say in 2 weeks sprint, in this 10 days, we are building 20 genes. So every day you should build 2 genes, yes or no? So this burn down chart shows you how many genes have you completed at the end of every day. So a Scrum Master can see, oh my God, we are on the 3rd day. We are supposed to complete 6 genes. We are only in 2 genes. Let me go and talk with the team. What the hell is happening? So a burn down chart explains the progression, the daily progression within the sprint. Okay. Now they brought a new thing, which is called a burn up chart. So burn down chart shows like this. The reason why they show burn down is because, the time is burning down. Remember when you go to a New Year party, what do? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You don't do 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That's how you go, burn down. So similarly, a burn down chart is showing that the time is burning down. Now they removed a burn up chart that actually shows the graph going up. It's a fancy shit. So let me tell you, right? But and how they define is a burn down chart shows how much work is completed, and a burn up chart shows how much work is remaining. So what I'm telling you is, this is the barrel of water. I am saying, Manjeel, this is half full, and you're saying, sir, this is half empty. What is it? Right? Burn up and burn down chart. That helps. Agile ceremonies. I'll run through very quickly, fast. So in Agile ceremony, the first ceremony is your daily stand-up meeting, right? It's called a daily sprint meeting or daily stand-up meeting. The reason why it's called daily, happening Monday through Friday every day, stand up, because you have to stand up and it's very brisk. 3 questions everybody has to answer. What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do today? Do you have any impediments or blockages, right? Who is managing or facilitating this meeting? A Scrum Master. Entire Agile team are the participants out. Number 2 is a JAD session. A JAD session is facilitated by a business analyst. What is a joint session? Joint application development, gathering requirements from the stakeholder in front of the entire Agile team. Number 2. Number 3 is a JAR, joint application review, facilitated again by a BA. What are we doing? Before we give our requirements to the designer, we are showing it to the stakeholder and taking a sign. In your waterfall, you call it sign-off session. So JAR, number 3. Number 4, by the way, too many when you Google it, JAD and JAR is not a part of Agile ceremony, just an FYI. But I'm giving you this additional, because by the way, I'm an author for the books you can check out, and I sit on Agile committee, and you can read my blogs and everything. But anyway, so the 4th one is sprint planning meeting. So a sprint planning meeting is facilitated by a Scrum Master. What happened in a sprint planning meeting? We are showing the work to the developers and testers, because the sprint is going to start within 3 or 4 days, right? So sprint planning meeting happens before the sprint start. So a Scrum Master shows developers and testers, this is the stories, right? And these are the designs. Look at it and ask questions to the BA and designer. Understand your work, because Monday morning when you come, you have to build this. Developer, you have to develop this. Tester, you have to test this. That's what happened in sprint planning meeting. Now, another Agile ceremony is called story estimation or story sizing meeting. Although it is an independent Agile ceremony, a lot of Scrum Masters will club sprint planning meeting and sizing together. Everybody does it because it's very productive. Sprint sizing meeting, you're basically sizing your stories, right? So in simple words, looking at the stories, you're asking developer how much time you'll take to develop, tester how much time, right? We use Fibonacci, t-shirt sizing, and blah, blah, and so on, right? I'm not going into this, not a class, I'm not getting into detail. The next Agile ceremony is called sprint review meeting, which happens after the sprint ends. So whatever you built in the sprint, you're showing it to the stakeholder. Hey, Baba, this is what you asked. This is what we have developed. Take a look and let us know if this is the right one. If they say yes, boom, we move forward. If they want change, we implement it in the next sprint, right? And last, the heart of Agile, which is Agile ceremony, is retrospective, right? Why we call it hard? Because as a team, we discuss things that went well in the last sprint and things that could have been done better in the last sprint. So it gives a chance to improve. Make sense, man? You took a class here, dude. What the hell?
No. I was wrong on the first part, because on burn down chart, I thought we'd see the amount of work left in a sprint versus time. I thought that. So I don't know if it is right or wrong, because
no, you're saying the same thing.
The same thing.
You're saying the same thing. So what you're saying is you're not holding the nose like this. You're holding the nose like this.
Okay.
It's not wrong, right? That you're saying the same thing.
Okay.
So things the time, right? So see, if you have 10 days in a sprint, right, and you have 20 genes, I am telling you, a burn down is saying, listen, on day 3 you have completed this much work, and you are saying no, this much work is remaining. You're saying the same thing,
but in a different way. No. So one thing I want to share with you. I don't work as a business analyst, but I work with business analysts and Scrum Masters. So one day we were in a meeting, sprint sprint. It was a review meeting, and then my Scrum Master asked us like, "Okay, now what's your story estimation?" And everyone's like, "What is that?" You know, and deep inside my heart, I was like, "Hum Hussain ka bachcha hai, humko pata hai." So I will never ever forget that. I was like, quickly, yeah, it takes 3 days, so 3 for me. You know, Fibonacci method. I was like, spot on. So the last part, the last thing I think we want to discuss about the quality analyst training that you guys are offering. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So QA, let me tell you, right? So one of the last line of defense in the software development lifecycle is a tester. So basically, a tester does 2 things. One, they check the product, right? Once the product is ready, developed, they check the product to make sure we have built the right product, because we are about to give the customer the product back, right? So we have built the right product. And second, they test to make sure it's working fine, right? 2 things, right? So testing is that part of it's very important. And the reason why I call it the last line of defense, because understand, if QA messes up, you're going to give a bad product, a wrong product to the customer, right? And you don't want to spoil relationship with your customer. So that's why they are the last line of defense. So QA is nothing but testing to make sure we build the right product and it's working. So that's what the testers do. Now in the testing part, Manjeel, there are 2 portions to it. One is the manual testing that you and I will have to do manually, right? Physically test the product. And then there is an automation, is you write a script, you write the codes in simple words, and you tell the machine, the system, to go ahead and test it automatically. I'll give you very, very easy example if you have 2 minutes to bring the clarity, right? Suppose, look at the Facebook. We all use Facebook. So think about Facebook login page, username and password, right? So suppose Facebook is new, it's not yet out, right? So the developer, we gathered the requirement, we understood what's the need of a Facebook is, the username, the password, and then everybody has to click enter and go to the main page. And we already developed it. Now the tester is coming in to test, okay? So the tester will look at the username and read the requirement. What is the requirement of this username? So we say the username should be an email address. That's the need, okay? So tester will come in and put the email address, for example, kmhusseinba@gmail.com, right? And then hit next, it should go to the password. So this is called human testing, that I will go as a tester and go ahead and test each feature, it's working or not, right? Because I know the requirement, I have the application in front of me, I can manually test. This is manual testing. Automation, sometimes it is non-feasible, it becomes impossible for a human to test. That's when the machine comes in to test. And I'll give you a very small example and we'll end it. I'll ask you this question, Manjeel. At any given point of time, day and night, all over the world, how many people do you think log in on Google at one time? So now it's 960, 917. How many people log into the Google?
I think million people.
Million people across the globe. Yes or no? Yeah. Imagine when Google build this. Do you think he can bring million testers to test it?
No.
Right? They have to put million people, testers in one room and say, on a count of 3, let's test, right? To understand the feasibility of this application. So for that, you will have to bring a machine to test. That's what automation testing is. Okay. So our program brings in both, Manjeel, right? The most common and famous is Selenium, what it's going right now. Everybody can do research. So we do that. Again, it's a very hands-on training, like all other trainings, right? The goal of our training program, Manjeel, is if, our viewers is thinking, hey, I want to take a training to get a job. Let me tell you a good news. Getting a job, if you go through our program, is not even a question. My biggest fear is, are we able to retain or sustain that job? What are you going to do Monday morning when you go to work? The example that you just gave, Manjeel, your product manager asked a question and everybody were looking at the faces, right? That's what shows is how do you exist onto your job? How do you retain that job or sustain that job, right? So that's what we offer. Hope that helps.
Yes, I know, Hussain bhai. Last question, but very important question. This is a land of opportunity, but sometimes the status matters. Whenever we see the job description, there are like points like OPT, CPT only, green card or US citizen only, So now when you are training people, especially I don't think there will be a problem for green card or US citizen, but how do you want to address to my viewers who are on OPT or CPT?
Listen, my friends, along with training, we do have consulting company too. Right? Training and consulting, right? That's okay. So I understand your question very, very deep. So let me tell you a history about H1 and history about how all these H1 started, right? And OPT, CPT, and I'll tell you in a minute. Is the reason why H1 was brought in, guys, is because USCIS says, and I'm not an immigration lawyer, but just based on my experience, I'm giving you advice, right? USCIS says that if you are sponsoring a person on an H1 or any other, sponsor a person if there are no resources available in the country. Yes or no? Yeah. If there is a resources available in the country, they are going to give a green card holder and a citizen this. So in information technology, as you and I know, there are not a lot of resources within the country. That's number one. Number two is when there is a highest demand and then the supply against the demand is scarce, is little, that's when organization starts getting crazy. They're like, oh my God, we cannot find the resource here. Let's get the resource out of the country or send the job outside. See, with the business analyst, what's happening, Manjeel, is you cannot automate it. You cannot send it outside. So you have to find a business analyst in the country. Yes or no? Yes. Number one. Number two is no university is offering a degree in business analyst. By the way, business analysis degree is not the same as business analyst. So no university in the United States, go and research. Nobody is offering bachelor's in business analyst parenthesis information technology. Nobody offers. So it's not a degree program that somebody can earn that degree and go and get a BA job. So what is happening? That creates a lot of opportunity for people who are OPT, people who are CPT. I've trained many of them. So that opens a lot of opportunities for these people, right? Now, suppose Java developer or .NET developer, right? I mean, there are degree programs that's happening for these courses. So if I'm not getting any experience, US citizen or green card, companies can go and hire directly from the university a Java developer. Of course, they don't have real life experience. They have to, and I can still train them, pay them little less and make them a developer. But in business analyst, that's not possible, my friend. Scrum Master, that's not possible, my friend. So that is why people who are OPT, CPT should look into programs like business analyst, like Scrum Master, where the supply is less than the demand. There is no degree program. You cannot outsource this. You cannot automate it. That increases the demand much more than the supply. So opens a lot of opportunity for OPTs. And again, I'm not saying you have to trust my words or your word. Everybody can do their own research, right? I give that example of my child. At the age of 6 years old, he did his own research, right? So we are all adult people. We all have computers. We can do our research.
Yep. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining with me today, Hussain bhai. I hope it will be really, really fruitful to all my viewers. Last point I want to say, there are different places where you can get trained and get a job. The training that S&A IT provides you, probably you may have to invest your time. You have to study. But I want to say you guys that the route is very long. If you take the training if you take his training, the route is very, very, very long. The journey would be very long in information technology. I am the best example. And there are many more, I'm pretty sure, So once again, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Hussain bhai, for joining. I will put all the description below about his training courses and whatnot in the description below. If you like the content, if you like watching us, subscribe our channel, share it. Thank you so much for joining once again. Until next time, bye-bye.
I wish you all the best for this, man. All the best to all of you. Thank you.